Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Some people act and never think. Some people only think, never act. Both extremes are not right. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna gives us a technique. We have the option to be wise or to be otherwise. So if we want to be wise, what is to be done? We were told in the morning class, other class, that दूरेण ह्यवरम कर्म बुद्धि योगा धनंजय बुद्धौ शरणम अन्विच्छ कृपणाः फलहेतवः. बुद्धौ शरणम अन्विच्छ, live intelligently. See? And कृपणाः फलहेतवः, do not live intellectually. Intellectuals always keep their attention on the future, the result, what will I get. Such people are only laborers struggling in this world to get something out of this world. The other option is Buddho Sharanam Anvichha, live intelligently. Intelligent people are able to discover the joy of being through their expressions. See? So this is our choice. Whether we are doing something to get happiness, or is every action of ours an expression of happiness? See? And once this is clear, then the second thing comes. Then what is happiness? Happiness is time pass. When you have nothing to do, nowhere to go, that state is called as the state of happiness. Then the equanimity is established. I will give you an example to make this point. Once I was playing carom with some child. And the child, like our Charlie, was very smart, very intelligent. So he was able to take the coins without any difficulty. And I was getting defeated. So I said, I can't tolerate this. But I can't do anything. So like the English saying goes, by hook or crook. When the hook failed, I thought, let me be crook. And then I was looking here and there. Hey, who is this, that picture? Is it, Ganeshji? So, Swamiji, this is not Ganesha, you don't know even this thing. So when he is looking that side and talking to me, I'll take few coins and put in there. Simplest way, hook or crook. The bottom line is that you get it, that's it. How you get it, who cares? Then, second time, third time, and I was caught. When I was caught, then he started shouting, Swamiji is a cheat, Mummy, please tell him. I said, don't cry, man. Come on, there's still time. Have patience. And then I started using the same trick, put my coins into his pocket. And by the time, food is ready. So just we left halfway and got up. Now for me, that 15-20 minutes time till the food is ready was just a time pass. And in that time pass, winning or defeating is equal, is it not? Then what I have achieved? 15 minutes till the food is ready, time pass. See? One day I was sitting comfortably with a cup of tea, enjoying, and one lady came. Swamiji, what are you doing? I said, I was waiting for death. Swamiji, don't say like that. I said, no, now I don't have to wait. You have come. See, all of us are doing only this. Just waiting for the departure announcement. Flight number 007 is ready to depart. Final call. Beyond that, there is nothing in life. See, friends. Then how do we live our life? Equanimity. In victory and defeat. In gain and loss. In joy and sorrow. How do we attain this? Only by intelligent understanding. This world is made up of these complements. Health is complemented by disease. The riches are complemented by poverty. The good is complemented by bad. This is how the world is. With this understanding, when we live in this world, there is nothing that can disturb you. See? Buddhau charanam invacha. This is the meaning of taking refuge in the intellect or living life intelligently. But if we are all the time talking in terms of what will I get, then we are traders. We are not spiritual seekers. Traders always think in terms of, if I invest this much, what will I get? Spiritual life is not trading. Then, when we practice this intelligent way of lifestyle, then what is that which will happen to us and in us? Buddhi yukto jahatiha ubhe sukruta dushkrute tasmad yoga yajujjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. The teacher says, Buddhi yuktaha, the one who is thus intelligently living his life, Jahati, he transcends both good and bad. Our whole life is a struggle between good and bad. See? Like here, when I am with you, I hug you, I kiss you. But when I am in India, nobody can come near me. Why? A drama you have to play. Here, if I do not, the other day, where it happened? South Africa. One very sweet girl, I was staying with them. And I don't do anything, forcingly. If it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, doesn't happen. I don't care for that. So, for almost 15 days I was staying, going, coming, going, coming. And I don't know why, but not even once I hugged her or kissed her. Hardly 20 years, 18 years girl. One day she went and told Dad, Swamiji doesn't like me. Why? Why? What he has done? He has not hugged me even once. I have seen other people, but not me. See? The sin and the merit, good and the bad, these are all our mental projections. There is nothing absolute good in this world. There is nothing absolute bad in this world. Because absolute is that where good and bad doesn't exist. Good and bad is only in the kingdom of relative existence. See? Therefore, he who is living intelligently in this manner, Jahati, he transcends sin and merit. And all of us are cheated by the so-called religious leaders. If you do this thing, you will go to heaven. If you don't do this thing, you will go to hell. I remember this happened in US. I was, in some shopping mall, no money. So I was walking, doing the window shopping. And then I got bored inside, so I was walking outside in the, parking lot. One person came with a big frock and he said, "Hey, are you a Hindu?" First question to an unknown person. So I said, any objection? Do you believe in Jesus? I said, no. Why? I said, I believe in Lord Jesus. He is not your friend, Jesus. You have to refer him with respect and reverence. Okay, Lord Jesus, yes. Then you are Christian? I said, yes, I am a Christian. But you said you are a Hindu also? I said, yes, I am a Hindu also. How this is possible? I said, you don't know latest technology, 2-in-1. With you, I am a Christian. With others, I am a Hindu. So I am 2-in-1. If you say like this, you will go to hell. Straight away he booked my ticket. He will go to hell. Then I asked him, excuse me, where will you go? Of course I will go to heaven. I said, if you are going to go to heaven, I don't know to come there. See, friends, this sin and merit and good and bad, this is KG1, KG2 class, that's all. We have to rise above this. See? And this can happen only when we are leading our life with clear understanding. Otherwise, majority of the people are controlled by a remote control. There are two factors invoked to control the masses. And there is one courageous one. See? Kaschid dhiraha pratyagatmanam avrutta chakshuhu amrutatvam icchan. Kaschid dhiraha. Rare indeed is a courageous one who is able and capable of breaking the routine. So how the masses are controlled? From a remote control, two viruses are introduced. First virus, a virus of guilt. A guilty person cannot live in this world openly. Guilt is kind of a cancer to the mind. Doesn't allow the inner beauty to surface. See? And then they are again and again told, you have done this thing. I'll try talk to God and see whether I can help you. And once this virus is introduced in anybody's system, he is booked for the whole life. Remote control. Second thing is the fear. If you do this thing, you will go to hell. If you do this, when these two contents are implanted in your mind, you are controlled from a remote. See, here the teacher tells, live intelligently, don't live like a coward. See, if I have done something wrong and if there is some punishment to come, oh Lord, give me the courage to go through that punishment, rather than, oh Lord, please forgive me and pass on my punishment to someone else. Invoke your inner strength. Then you will come to know problems become dim and weak if you are strong. See, we are all here eating the same food. Every one of us is perfectly all right, except for Chris. She doesn't have that resistance. Therefore, she has fallen ill. Others are not. In the same manner, in this world, those who are weaklings, they fall prey to these two viruses, guilt and fear. Never have that feeling of guilt or fear in you. See? Ube sukrita dushkrute, both the sin and merit is transcended. Now, tasmar yogaya yujvasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Therefore, live such intelligently in this world that action is happening outside, but the beauty is created inside. See? That is what is called as the secret of intelligent living. This is how the wise people live in this world. Otherwise, people live in this world and go on collecting the garbage of likes and dislikes, guilt and arrogance. And with every interaction, a lot of kachra is collected inside. A lot of trash is collected inside. See? Therefore, never live in this world even for a moment under the load of these two things, guilt and fear. See? Now, how this is possible? This is possible under a few conditions. Number one, whatever we are doing, listen to your inner voice and be sincere to that. One day, one girl asked me this question. Swamiji, I am always confused about taking decisions. How can I take decisions? I said two conditions, no discussion, no arguments. Agreed? Yes. I'll tell you something, you do, you don't do, it doesn't make any difference to me. You try. Then I told, when you try this technique, first time you may fail, second time you may fail, third time you may fail, but don't give up the technique. Then you will know the knack of taking decisions. See? Like a child falls first time, second time, third time, then he knows the knack how to stand and how to walk. Exactly the same technique is regarding taking decisions in our life. What is the technique? The technique is very simple. We sit before the Lord, and there is one verse in the second chapter, 7th verse. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha yasreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me Shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. This is the verse attributed to Arjun. He asked to Bhagavan Krishna, O Lord, I am utterly confused. I know not what to be done, what not to be done. Please guide me. I surrender to Thee, and Your words will be executed in letter and spirit. When this prayer is chanted with all sincerity, mind remains cool and undisturbed. Cool mind is a mine of all solutions to all the problems of life. Disturbed mind is like volcanoes erupting non-stop, and this quietness of the mind is achieved through this technique. Just give it a try. You don't have to understand the meaning of the verse. See, like Dr. Gaurang gave me something, some medicine. I don't have to understand the pharmacology of the medicine. Medicine knows what she has to do. I don't have to know. In the same manner, in the prayers, our understanding is not important. Our sincerity and surrender is important. See? And I said, give it a try. And after a month or two, he said, Swamiji, you have given me the best mantra. Now, in the morning, when I had to take some decision or do something, and I am confused, I finish my bath, sit before the Lord. Oh Lord, I am going to say prayer. I don't know, but you know, you understand Sanskrit, I don't understand. And she'll take that, and start reading, Karma. Slowly she by-hearted that. And then this is my problem, what should I do? The first answer to your question is the divine message. What we do? But from butting onwards, we begin. Allow your own divinity to deal with the problems of your life. See, friends. Therefore, tasmar yogaya yujjasva yogaha karmasu kaushalam. This is what is called as the dexterity in action. See? Will you call it as the right kind of activity or action? We start cutting the vegetables and cut our finger. No. We have to cut the vegetables and save our fingers. In the same manner, we have to live in this world but save ourselves. And how do we save ourselves? Only by one thing. Our mind is left behind absolutely at peace. Tiredness will be a historical event for us in that case. Wise men are never tired in life because they are living from a totally different angle. And for us, small little thing, we get so tired. Let him take over and you'll see life becomes beautiful. Tasmad yoga yujasva yoga karmasu kaushara. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam gachanti anamayam. Such intelligent person, he who is functioning in this world, be very attentive. When an action is not associated with doership, it is not called as karma. Legally, the documents that we sign, they are called as legal deeds, is it not? Suppose you have printed everything, but if it is not authenticated by your signature, is it a valid document? It becomes valid when you authenticate by your signature, thereby you take the ownership of the words, is it not? Then it becomes legal. In the same manner, when actions are owned, I have done that, then only the sin and the merit happens. Now take example in our day-to-day life. Today is Thursday. On the Thursday I am supposed to observe fast. One lady in the USA, it happened. I was taking food, and many times why I do something I also do not know, but it happens. So when I was taking food and she was giving food, so I said, Mama, sit here, she said. And I started giving her food. And she ate. Afterwards, then I started eating. Then, till then, no problem. And suddenly then she realized, oh God, today is Thursday, I am not supposed to eat food and I have eaten food. Whether this is a sin or a merit or I don't know what I should do. See? Till such time, I am eating, this thought was not born. There was no sin, there is no merit. But when I am eating, this thought is born, the sin and the merit is created. So she came to me. Swamiji, you will excuse me. I said, okay, excuse. What is the next? See, you gave me food to eat. I said, I don't remember. Was it you? Yes. You gave me. Very good. Then, today is my Thursday observation of fast and you gave me food and I ate. Now, what will happen? I said, the food will be digested. You never understand anything. I said, really, I don't understand. Then the food is taken, it will be digested. What is? No. Today I am not supposed to eat, but I have eaten. Now what will happen? I said, to whom? Think of next question. To whom? Food will be digested. To you, you have not eaten. I have fed you. Oh, so when you fed me, there is no sin. I said, no. But the sin will happen to you. I said, not to me. Why? Because I am sin proof. Just get this point clearly in life. So, I have taken food, therefore it is sin and merit, because I is associated with that. After the food has gone inside, do we have this notion, I am digesting the food? Nobody has that feeling that I am digesting the food. What is the understanding there? Food is getting digested. Clear? Next step. Therefore, after eating food, if you have constipation, it is a merit. If you have dysentery, it is a sin. Does it ever happen? No. Why? Because with the digestion, I is not associated. Get this point, friends. We are all miserable only because we associate this dumb I. And you know what is this I, ego? There are 3 types of viruses. One is the biological virus, which we all know. HIV virus, biological virus. Second is the logical virus, which infects our computers. Logical fallacy is introduced and the whole system goes in a loop. That is the logical virus for the computers. And there is a third virus, which we are infected. That time we become otherwise. And that virus is the virus of ego. Ego has no logic. See, friends. And if it is illogical, it can be removed only by right understanding. See, ahankara vimudhatma karta hamiti manyate. But we are so much under the influence of this foolishness, vimudhatma. We start imagining, I have done the things. See? We pluck the flower from the neighbor's garden and go to the temple or the church and offer to God. Oh God, the flower falls. The flower we have not created. The hands by which we have plucked the flower, that is not created by Adam. The legs by which we have gone to the temple, they are not created by us. And the God is not created by us. Yet I have done this. See, friends, there is no place for this unholy demon called as I to exist. See, things are happening in this world. Have you heard about the Mayan calendar? Have you seen that movie? Oh, it's beautiful. If it is at my laptop, I'll show you. According to that Mayan calendar, it depends on the speed and the utilization of energy principle. It is not a mechanical movement of the earth around the sun, so many thousand years. It is based on the speed of life and the energy utilization. There is a 5 days a week, not 7 days a week. Very beautifully, mathematically they are deducted. And that calendar ends on 21st December 2012. Only few days for us. When the calendar ends, the world comes to a halt. See? Now the movement of the earth around its own axis, movement of the earth around the sun, these two things are like the small and the big hand of a cosmic clock. And these two movements create an illusion of day and night, years and months and seasons. And they influence and guide our life. Is this created by us? See, I have done this thing, I have done that thing. Therefore, no wise man ever claims the doership. And this we all know, but we don't know that we know. One example I'll give you. I was staying in somebody's house and they had one child, 3 years, 4 years. He was a Rakshasa, devil. So I used to keep away from him. One day all of them went out, and in between, when they were not there, somebody came. Swamiji, this was to be given to them. Nobody is at home. Will you mind if I leave it here? I said, okay, leave it here. Some flowers and something, and in one bottle there was some oil or ghee, something like that. And these people came evening. That devil has to come and find out what I am doing. The moment he came, I said, my God, now it started eating my head. So I started pretending as if I am studying the moon. But my attention was on him, what he is up to. So he has taken the whole situation. He found there is something new. So he opened up, everything spread. That was not enough. He took that bottle of oil or ghee and slipped from his hand and spread on the carpet. Instantaneously he shouted, Grandmother, see! Their servant's name was Kalpana. Grandmother, see, Kalpana has spread the oil on the carpet. I have seen with my own eyes, that fellow has done it. But he was so cool. And he brought his grandmother and showed, see what she has done. She is always spoiling the things. And grandmothers are always fools as regards the grandchildren are concerned. That poor servant was scolded left and right. She said, no, mother, I have not done. Do you think my small little baby like Krishna will speak lies? Krishna was always talking lies. He never told the truth. And unnecessarily that girl was scolded. I was watching the whole cinema from a distance. But what I learned from that experience was this. Even the child understands. If I have not done something, I cannot be punished for anything. So what the child has done? He has disowned the doership. See, friends. Therefore, once this point goes in our heart, let us give importance to the job. Work is done. This was the technique advocated by Nisargadatta Maharaj. You all must have heard or read him sometime or the other. Nisargadatta Maharaj is to say, always use a passive voice when you talk. The job is done. Normally, I have done the job. I is not important, job is important. Job is done. Who does is not important. And once this approach begins in life, slowly, our life is removed from the influence of this ego. And this is what Bhagavan says, Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandhav nirmuktaha. Now what will be the net result? Net result will be, with every additional activity in life, slowly, that I which was being born earlier, now that I will stop being born. See? And as our life proceeds, there will be only actions coming out of us which are not owned by an agent. I have done this thing. See? Then, through such a master, the Lord functions. Once I was having a management seminar for a very big industrial group, trainees, about 250 engineers, a big car company in Pune, Mahindra and Mahindra. Those people came and I was supposed to give them a talk. So I finished my talk, management talk. And management, the only thing about management is a myth. There is nothing like management, there is mismanagement, that is the truth. So after my talk was over, one young engineer said, Swamiji, what I am asking is not from the lecture you gave, but this is because you are a Swami, this inquisitiveness in me has been disturbing me, please tell me. So what is the question? My question is, what happens after death? I asked him, you are what kind of engineer? Are you a cement and bricks engineer? That means civil engineer? No. Are you a screwdriver engineer? Mechanical engineer? Yes, I am a screwdriver engineer. Very good. Then I asked him, what was the reason that this question came in your mind? He said, Swamiji, I have done my engineering, everything, I am getting a job, everything is true. But I don't know what is the purpose of my life. So many times this thought comes in my life. Why I am living? Why not commit suicide? So I am not able to ascertain what is the purpose of my life, and suppose I commit suicide, what will happen to me? Therefore I ask this question. I say, look here, you are a screwdriver engineer? Yes. There are now 3 screwdrivers here. Now what is the purpose of the screwdriver? Screwdrivers for themselves have no purpose. They are just like in a box. The one who wields that screwdriver, he has a purpose to tighten somebody's screw, somebody or something. Isn't it? The screwdriver doesn't have any function, no purpose. In the same manner, we are all the screwdrivers created by him. He has a purpose to be achieved through us. We have no purpose. That the screwdriver has no purpose. A knife has no purpose. The one who yields, he has a purpose. See, friends. Now, how do we know what is his purpose through us? That's a good thing. Now there are 3 screwdrivers, and I take the first screwdriver and want to tighten the screw. But it is so peculiar screwdriver, the head doesn't go into the niche of the screw head. When I put it, it slips. What will I do with the screwdriver? Throw it. Then I take the second screwdriver. The head goes and fits in the niche perfectly, all right. And when I move the handle, the grip, only the grip moves, not the head. Oh God, that also I throw. Then I take the third screwdriver. It fits properly and I can tighten the way I want. I will keep only that screwdriver in my hand, is it not? So what is our purpose now? Our purpose is we remain as a fit instrument so that he can select us to get his plans executed through us. That is all. Therefore, in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan says, Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayed. Remain as a fit instrument. If we are not physically fit, mentally fit, psychologically fit, intellectually fit, then we are unfit for everything. And then we imagine, when we are unfit for everything, we are fit for spirituality. See, once I was in somebody's house, a huge structure, son, 6 plus 4 plus, and a mother told me, Swamiji, he is my son, 28 years. He does nothing. He is good for nothing. Eats and bullies everybody in the house. And he is so big, nobody can do anything to him. So I am so fed up. Why don't you take him to your ashram? Means what? He is unfit for everything. He is fit for the ashram. Take him there. See, friends, spirituality is not for those who are dropouts of life. No. Let us not have this wrong notion. Those who are unfit for everything, they are fit for spirituality. No. Therefore, here the teacher gives this very clear understanding that what is really poisonous in us is the sense of doership. I do, I do, I do. No. Things are already planned beautifully. What is our contribution? We remain as a fit instrument. So that whenever he wants, he can pick up and he gets his job done. That is all. Such a person he goes beyond sin and merit, and he who has gone beyond sin and merit, he goes beyond birth and death. See, I as a taxi driver, waiting for a customer and I get a customer. Hey man, take me to a temple. So I take him to the temple. He looks at the meter, gives me the money. He goes to the temple. Will I get a merit? No. I was just a driver. Then from there I get another customer. Hey, take me to the drinking booth. So I take him to the drinking booth. He pays me my meter reading. Will I get a sin? No. Because I'm just a carrier, nothing else. In the same manner, when His will is executed through us, we go beyond merit and sin. See, friends. Therefore, janmabandham nirmuktaha padam gacchanti anamayam. And such a person is padam gacchanti anamayam, means he remains at peace with himself and at peace with the whole world. Unless we are at peace with ourselves, we cannot be at peace with the world. Inside, our mind is like a corrugated sheet of steel. When any vehicle goes, anything that is to happen or we are to interact with anybody, there are always confusions and there is no coolness. Padam gacchanti anamayam, one remains ever in equipoise. See? And when we thus start living in a yadate moha kalilam buddhir vyati darishati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotam vishya shrutasya cha. So till such time, moha kalilam, the mud of delusion, till such time we are in the mud of delusion, there cannot be at peace. We can neither be at peace with ourselves or with anybody in this world. Such people are perpetually confused. We have confusions and wrong notions about 4 factors. Unless these 4 errors are corrected, whatever we may be doing under disguise of spirituality is self-deception. First error or moha or delusion is about our identity as to what we are. See? Second is about what is the meaning of the world. When we say, oh, the world is too much for me. What is that world which is too much for us? Do we understand the statement of our own words? What we mean by this statement? Third, the notion about God. We are pushed him beyond the clouds. Every time I go by flight, I try to see anywhere. Nowhere is. Last 30 years I am traveling. Not even once I could see him. I tried all options. Masculine, feminine, with daddy, without daddy, nowhere. See? And the fourth delusion, confusion, wrong notion we have about the spiritual practice. 4 things. Unless this moha kalila, this mud of delusion is corrected, till then we are bound to suffer in this world. Now let us take one by one. First delusion or wrong notion we have about our own identity. This is the foundation of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita first chapter is introduction and Arjuna's picture. Remaining 17 chapters Bhagavan dealt with the problem. And you all know Those who are talking or studying Bhagavad Gita told the path of karma, karma yoga, karma sannyasa and meditation and Atma Samyama yoga and the path of devotion, chanting the Lord's name, path of meditation and the path of knowledge, everything. None of that was done by Arjuna. He did not do anything. शुचो देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिन कुशोत्तरं तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा न किंचिदपि चिन्तयेत्. All the path of meditation was not practiced by Arjuna. He has not taken the mala in his hand. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh no, he didn't do that. He did not study the scriptures. None he did. Then exactly what happened? Even after having heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, the situation of the battle also did not change. The battle happened. Then exactly what happened? See, there are 4 pairs to whom Bhagavad Gita is related. First pair is Bhagwan Krishna as the teacher, Arjuna as the disciple. What happened to Arjuna? He himself tells in Bhagavad Gita, we will see that. Second, he says, let me tell right away. When whole Bhagavad Gita was told to Arjuna, Bhagwan Krishna asked him, hey Arjuna, I have been telling you exhaustively all that has to be told. Okay? कच्चिदेत श्रुतं पार्थ त्वया एकाग्रेण चेतसा कच्चिद अज्ञान सम्मोहा प्रणष्टस्ते धनंजय. Hey Dhananjay, hey Arjun, all that was to be told, I told you. Did you listen carefully? Kachid eta shrutam parth tvaya ekagrena chetasa. Did you listen with all attention? And now all your confusion about your identity has gone or not? His only confusion was who he is. Whether he is a disciple to his Guru Dronacharya or he is a grandson to his grandfather Bhishmacharya or he is a brother to the brothers in the opposite army, as to who is he. That was his problem. And after having explained everything, what he came to conclusion, he says, Nashto mohaha smrutihi labdha tat prasadat maya achyuta. Oh Lord, all my confusion is gone. What was the confusion? Confusion about one's own identity. The moment it was corrected, fighting the war was his profession. See, friends. And what was the confusion? He is a warrior on the battlefield and not related to anybody. See, friends, at this stage, as we are all sitting, at this moment, what is our relationship? I is a teacher and you is a student. So our relation between I versus you is teacher-student relationship. During this time, only these 2 relationships should be invoked. No other relationship. Instead of that, if I look at some of you and some of you remind me of my mother and I get carried away. See, when I look at you, I am remembered of my mother, I don't know what she must be doing, I think it must be night. No, I have no business. At this moment, I am only a teacher, none else. So also your case. Is then you be teacher, we sleep. Huh? See, friends, the real problems in our life is because of the identity crisis. This is the Moha Kalila. This is the mud of delusion where we are sinking every moment. We have to be clear about our identity. Second, what do we mean by the word world? The world is too much. What do we mean? See, all the 5 objects in this world, the sounds, the touches, the forms, the smells and the tastes, all the five objects in this world. They are not creating any problem. What is wrong? So when we say world is too much for us, find out which world. God has given us eyes. Eyes are seeing the colors and forms. Is it a problem? On the contrary, if we cannot see by our eyes, then there is a problem. If we are able to hear by our ears, is it a problem? It is not a problem. If we can't hear, then there is a problem. See? Similarly, our mind thinks. So thinking is not a problem. See? Therefore, when we say that the world is to, what do we mean by the word world? One simple definition I will tell you. World means an experience of a sense of otherness is called as world. See? Whenever there is a sense of otherness and it is considered as valid, then alone the world is born. And the sense of otherness is created on account of the names and the forms. See? In the deep sleep experience, all the names and the forms are equal. They are not separate from each other. So what is our experience? Our experience is homogeneous, undivided, conscious existence. Where is the world? Therefore, when we talk about the world, what this world is? World is that experience which is gathered through the limitations of the senses and the mind. That experience is called as world. See? Then the third notion that we have about God. Let us not push God away from us. I'll give you some simple technique. See what a difference it will make. There is a school. Let us take our classroom. And you are all students. And when the students are there before the teacher comes, I don't know here, but in India I am telling you. Because here I heard too many stories, so I am afraid to say. So, when the teacher is not there, all the children are caw, 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 like a poultry farm. See? And then one of the students says, "Hey, sir is coming." Everybody becomes a goody-goody. Why? Because the teacher has come. Clear? Exactly. Now, instead of pushing the God in the churches and the temple, bring Him in your heart and become aware of this fact. Before a word is uttered, it is heard by the Lord in the heart. Before a thought is born, it is cognized by the divine presence. Before an action is done, it is known by the truth. The moment we become aware of the divine presence in our heart, not a single bad word will ever slip from the mouth. Because we are aware. Someone is hearing. Not a single bad thought will come because someone knows. He is in our heart. The moment we become aware that the Lord is very much seated in our heart, we can hide from the whole world. We can cheat and deceive the whole world. You cannot deceive your own conscience. See, friends, that is why many people, they want to change the place, go from here to there. Where will you run away? Where you go, there He is. You can't run away from Him. So our notion about God is far away. No. See, friends. Now the next step. How do we invoke, propitiate that God? There is a very simple technique I'll tell you. Very simple technique. One child asked this question, Swamiji, how do we know whether whatever is happening God is doing or we are doing? Suppose I, go and kick the other boy and I say God did it, I didn't do it. Then how do we know that? Who is doing? I said, hey, you are a very intelligent boy. Then to him I gave a chocolate. It was the same child, very intelligent. I gave him chocolate. I said, you eat this thing. He said, no, I'll give it to my sister. Then I said, why? She'll be happy. But you will not be happy. No, I will be also happy. I said, how can you be happy when she is eating the chocolate? Then he said, you will never understand, Swamiji, but this is like that. I said, okay, now you try to understand. When you become happy by receiving something, it is you, the stupid one. When you discover happiness in giving things to the world, then God is expressing through you. Godliness is in sharing and giving. The ego is fattened by receiving and receiving. That is the reason why the great teachers give this knowledge free. Because it is the Lord who is functioning through them. But if you go to the schools and colleges, there the teachers teach for getting the salary. So there it is, the individual, the jiva, the ego is functioning. But the great masters in this world, they have distributed this whole knowledge to the humanity without going into the loss and profit. Because through them, the divine is expressing. See, friends, in this manner, our wrong notion about ourselves, moha kalila, wrong notion about the world, wrong notion about the God, and fourth is wrong notion about the spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is what? See, it is not a drill. By the left, kick, march. That is not a spiritual practice. It is not with the uniform. See, with the typical type of color for the clothes. And then normal people put on shoes, you have to put a wooden shoe. Like many people ask me, Swamiji, why do you put on the wooden shoes? I said, these shoes are never stolen. Therefore, so in this manner, spirituality is not a makeup oriented. Spirituality is living ever cool under all conditions. And it is possible when we understand spirituality is not a part-time profession. It is a full-time preoccupation. See? A mother is a mother 24 hours. She cannot say, excuse me son, now I am not your mother. Aha! It is not a part-time profession. 24 hours experience. Therefore, in the beginning I told you, never do meditation. Live in meditation. When we start living in meditation, then we are practicing spirituality. When we do meditation, we are only going the wrong way. And such people who go wrong way on meditation, they suffer silently. And then they go for guru shopping. See, I went there, I didn't get good guru. Let me try another one. It's not a tea brand, you know. Then ultimately, instead of taking straight away caffeine, in South Africa when I go, one of my friends, he is very fond of these funny kind of teas, rooibos. Something rooibos? His song is very good. I said, I don't want it. I want clear caffeine tea. I am fond of caffeine. No, Swamiji, they say it is bad. You can take some herbal tea. I said, I never take horrible tea. It is not herbal, it is horrible. See? Let us be clear in our life. No ambiguity. Then you will see 24 hours we are in tune with the divine. That is what is called as the real spiritual practice. See? Can we imagine Lord Jesus was a great master only when he was carrying the cross? No. 24 hours. Take any great master here, our Babaji Maharaj or Amritananda Mayama or Ananda Mayama. They are 24 hours in that. See? Therefore, spiritual practice has to be clearly understood in and through every action, every word, every thought, every breathing. Spirituality is practice. So, yadate moha kalilam. When these four wrong notions are corrected, then tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavasya srutasya. Then you are not required to know anything. Then you start living in tune with the divine. See? Like many people come and ask this question, Swamiji, how to control the mind? So I ask him, why you should worry about my mind? No, sorry. I don't mean that. No, how should I control my mind? I said, you should know it's your mind. No, please tell me. Whenever we ask question to somebody, we are lazy. See? When you ask me a question, you will get a reply, not an answer. What we seek is an answer. When in the examination we write answer book. It's not a reply book. Reply could be anything. It may not be answer. I have replied all the questions. You have replied, my dear darling, but did you answer them? See? So we have to find out. Like, mind is too disturbed, what should I do? Now you find out. Then you will come to know whatever you have given importance to, that alone is the cause of your all disturbances. See, if you have given importance, you have to devalue. Nobody can do it for us. See, every person who starts smoking, how does he start smoking? He has or she has given importance to that smoking. Imagination. There was one boy from Kerala, came to Bombay. And he was taken for ragging by the students. And this poor fellow with a dish antenna and, very simpleton from a village. When he came, the young, the senior students from the same college, they caught hold of him. He was poor fellow in a lungi and told him, hey, smoke cigarette. In his whole life, he has never held a cigarette, how to hold it. And they made a fun of him and every kind of thing. Somebody lit the cigarette and put in his mouth. Now, pull inside like this. And this fellow in his life for the first time, he did. And everything became so disgusting. Smoke started coming from his nose, mouth, ears, eyes, the whole body. And everybody dancing made a fool of him. Now this boy took it as a challenge. What do you think? From then onward his sadhana started. Going to the bathroom with a cigarette packet and with a matchbox and started. First cigarette he smoked with 0 experience. Second cigarette he smoked with 1 experience. Third cigarette he smoked with 2 experiences. Nth cigarette he smoked with n-1 experiences. And when n approaches to infinity, n is equal to n-1. Finally, he could sit and show to everyone. And then, Akhanda Mandala Akaram Vyaptam Yena. Hey God, you can smoke like that, of course. And then he became a victim of that smoking. See, if we have given importance to something, we have to devalue. Nobody can do it for us. First principle. Second principle, why too many thoughts come in our mind? Because we have become somebody. We do this experiment right away. According to your gender, become for a few moments, till I tell you, mother or father. and watch what kind of thoughts come in your mind. Take the position. You are a mother or a father. Stop. Now become husband or wife. And watch the kind of thoughts. Now become subordinate or a boss. And see what kind of thoughts come. And now become Mr. Nobody. Experiment over. Open eyes and listen. When you became mother and father, your thoughts were related to the children. When you became husband and wife, your thoughts were related to wife and husband. When you became a subordinate and boss, your thoughts were related to boss and subordinate. And when you are nobody, no thoughts. So what spiritual practice? Remain as Mr. Nobody. That is all. See, friends, this we have to discover. Nobody can teach us. Then we will come to know whenever we have become somebody, there are disturbances. Therefore, unknowingly it is rightly said, nobody is happy in this world. It is very true. Nobody alone is happy in this world. Somebody is always miserable. So refuse to be somebody and remain as nobody in this world. But all our struggle is only for this. I won't name you somebody, very nice person. One day asked me this question. Swamiji, I have been on the spiritual path for last 20-25 years. But I am unable to be as you are at home and cheerful and happy and so relaxed. Why I am not able to do this? I had done yoga, I had done Reiki, I had done this, I had done that. Not for a day or two, for last 25 years, 30 years. Why it is like this? I said, my conditions are very simple. No discussion, no argument. After I speak, the topic is over, we will have a cup of tea. Clear? Yes. Whether you like or you don't like, I am telling you whatever I want to tell. Yes, Swamiji. I said, your whole life is a struggle to prove something to somebody. Alas, you don't know what you want to prove and to whom and for what purpose. What do you want to prove? And to whom? See? Just be casually, relax. This struggle to prove something to somebody is an expression of a very strong ego. And that doesn't allow us, the divinity in us, to surface. It's always crushed down. See, friends, be very clear. Spiritual progress is directly proportionate to the cheerful life that lead every moment. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. The one who is nearest to the divine is prasannatma, ever cheerful. See? And cheerfulness can come only when we are Mr. Nobody. One more example I'll give. This happened in South Africa. They have given me 5 talks. Swamiji, 5 days you have to talk, 1 hour each. I said, all right. What is the topic? Nothing much, 5 Upanishads. So, one day Isha Kena Katha Mundaka Manduke. One day, one Upanishad in 1 hour. So, all right. And after the 5th lecture was over, one lady came, she did namaskar, elderly lady, must be around late 50s. She said, Swamiji, I have been studying Vedanta and Upanishad for last 25 years. In my whole life, I have never laughed that much. As much I have laughed in last 5 days. I said, I'm so sorry. What else can I do? Because I created problem. No. I never knew Vedanta is so happiness. I said, maybe your teacher who is teaching you must be a frustrated fellow. Therefore, you are learned in the wrong manner. And everything was over. In the evening, I had dinner in their house only. I said, hey Mama, today is food in your house. I didn't know. No, Swamiji, it was in my house only. I forgot to tell you. But anyway, you have come very good. So I straight away went to the kitchen. Say, what are the things? How many things are done? I am just hitting it and then we'll eat. I said, all right. Meanwhile, you can talk to my husband. I said, all right. I said, hi husband, how are you? We sat together. He was a grave person as to why I am born. That kind of feeling on his face, So I said, hi husband, how are you? Swamiji, I am the teacher to her for last 25 years. That time I felt, let there be earthquake and I am absorbed in earth. And then he said, but what you tell is true. In my whole life, I have never laughed. Then I am teaching the students here, and there are many of them. But what you tell makes a sense. Why this is happening? Why I cannot be as casual and cheerful as you are? I am talking the same Upanishad. You spoke the same thing. What is the reason? I said, conditions 2. No discussion, no argument. After I speak, we'll eat food. Agreed? Or else no discussion. Agreed. I said, you have taken a position of a guru. The day you take the position of a guru, you have closed the doors of wisdom to you. I know everything. Who can teach me? Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say, throughout life, remain a seeker. Never become a guru. I said, you have become a guru. And therefore, you have to all the time behave before the students. Be yourself. Don't become a guru. The day you become somebody, you are inviting problems. There was a guru and a shishya. I don't know if I told you the story. Did I tell you? They were walking on the banks of Ganges, and Guru told the disciple, now it's getting late. I'll be here on the Ganges bank. Anyway, I am old, I don't get sleep. See this beautiful place. Somebody has built, on the bamboos, a raised platform. You can go and take sleep there. Tomorrow we'll go. So this man, young disciple, very happy, with all beard and all that, with all makeup complete. He went up there and slept. And the owner of that, place came with a, lantern in his hand. He climbed. Hey, who is here? I am going to beat you. So that boy says, don't you see I am a Mahatma here, sleeping. The moment he said, I am a Mahatma sleeping, this man got angry, started giving him left and right. Mahatma never sleep. They are doing meditation or chanting the Lord's name. And you are sleeping and you say you are a Mahatma? Gave him left and right. Threw him out. Next day, Guru Maharaj, beta, how was the night? Oh, it was very nice. Okay, let's move on. No, we'll stay one day more here. Tonight you sleep there. And the next day, the disciple sent the Guru up there. And then again that man comes, his owner, and with the same lantern. And this Guru Maharaj, Mahatma Ji, he was just sitting cool, at peace with himself. So when he comes, oh, today also somebody has come. Who is this today? Mahatma did not speak one word. He just kept quiet. And when he saw from a close distance, oh, you are a Mahatma. And indeed, Namaskar, Chamatkar, pressing the legs, giving him milk and sweets and everything. Next day, Mahatma Ji comes down. Disciple was waiting. Sir, how was the night? Oh, it was so nice. These people are so good, you know. He was pressing my legs. He gave me milk and sweets and all that. Really, these people are really good. He said, how come? He has given me beating, and to you he has given. What is the reason? The Guru says, you must have become somebody. The disciple told, don't you see, I am a Mahatma. When you become somebody, you invite problems in life. Be. Don't become. When being is associated with coming, samsara begins coming and going, coming and going. Let us be our own self. See, friends. Yada te moho kalilam buddhirvyati tarishyati tada gantati nirvedam shrotavyasya srutasya cha. Then we don't have to ask anybody any question about the spiritual path. You start discovering things from within. See? Like I told the other day to Annette, when I was looking at the fish pond, I am not looking at the fish. I was looking at the water. See? Water is not influenced by the presence or absence of the fish. The space is not influenced by all the contents. Our eyes are not influenced by the colors and forms. Ears are not influenced by good or bad words. Mind is not influenced by holy or unholy thoughts. Consciousness is not influenced by waking, dream, deep sleep or samadhi. That uninfluenced, conscious, blissful existence is the ultimate truth that we are. A wise one is establishing this. The otherwise is only struggling. So if we are struggling on the spiritual path, we are Mr. Otherwise. If we are at home with ourselves and the whole world, we are on the right track. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.